even in any lifestyle, even what we eat or what we consume or anything like that, simplicity is the thing that will make it be something that we can stay consistent and scale and sustain versus complexity.
Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we're dedicated to helping product-based business owners turn into revenue-generating, successful, happy product bosses. I'm Jacqueline Snyder.
And I'm Mina Kunlo-Sitep. Together through digital courses, coaching, and masterminds, we've helped over 50,000 students from startup to multi-million-dollar businesses scale their sales while blending in their dream life.
It gets lonely out there in the product business world. We fully believe a business shouldn't be built alone. There's room at the top for all of us.
So let's get scrappy and creative together, Product Boss, to be profitable, make more sales, and grow your visibility.
Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey friends, it's podcast recommendation time. This month, we can't seem to get enough of No Straight Path, hosted by the incredible Ashley Menzies Babatunde. Now, she is part of the HubSpot podcast network, just like us, and we can't wait to share what we love about her episode.
Ashley's podcast is so inspirational. She does an incredible job helping to shed light on the true stories behind the shiny resumes, social media highlights, and job titles of those who have acquired success. She brings on guests from all walks of life to inspire conversations around what creating success actually looks like, because there is no straight path to success for anyone.
Of course. And we truly believe this. She really humanizes success from the millennial perspective. She recently did an episode featuring Laura Lynn Harrig, where they dove into the importance of sustainability building a business. And it was so eye-opening.
Yeah, I love that one. Laura Lynn was sharing one of the biggest lessons she's learned as a business owner. And one of my favorite things that they talked about was how easy it is to forget that success doesn't happen overnight. Because I feel like as a lot of product bosses out there, they feel like it's taking a little bit too long or that they're falling behind, but they're right where they need to be when creating a successful business really does take time.
So, listen to No Straight Path wherever you get your podcasts. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode. And today we're going to talk about something that is like wildfire in our community. It is a phrase that we mentioned in teaching in our 21-day bootcamp, and it just resonated so deeply with our small businesses that we support and coach and our students in Multi-Stream Machine. And what is that phrase, Mina?
Let it be easy. There's sometimes when we first hear that, we're like, no, I like it to be hard. I'm used to it being hard.
It's
right?
uncomfortable when something's easy. Like, should I be doing more?
Yeah. You feel like you need to give yourself permission to let it be easy. And the thing is, permission granted, my friends. We are giving you full permission and encouragement to let it be easy.
Yeah. So what does that mean? That means you don't need to overcomplicate everything you do, right? Or make things harder. And this is something that we really decided to focus on, in this bootcamp, and our Multi-Stream Machine students are the ones that are really kind of learning this, because I think, and this topic came up because people feel like if they do more, if they're in more places, if they're doing all the things, if they're burning themselves, like, what do they say? The candle at both ends?
Yeah, both ends of the wick.
Yeah.
Right?
That is going to be the thing that, let's say, sets fire to the, I'm using fire a lot as an analogy today, if you can't tell. I don't even know I'm using it. But the idea is that they think that that's going to be that, like, sets the spark. That's the thing that's going to, be the rocket ship that takes off for your business. But the thing is what we've realized, what we've taught, what we've seen in thousands and thousands of businesses is like, no, when you focus, when you go deep and you don't go wide, when you get really clear on what your intention is, and it actually, you're like, it's a breath of fresh air. It's like a weight off of your shoulders. You're like, it could be that easy and I could be successful. And the answer is yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, for a lot of us, we think that the way to more revenue is by doing more, by working harder, by adding things, right? And what we're telling you is that it really means focusing in on what works and kind of letting go of the things that don't, and that is like when it comes to actual physical stuff like in your business of the doing, as well as maybe the emotional things that you might just be attached to something, but it's not making you money. And then we're going to tell you just to focus on the numbers, because that will show you the direction to go into. And, I think that sometimes we as humans tend to overcomplicate things because we feel like, ooh, it needs to feel hard, or I've been doing it this way and I know that I want to get over there, but I don't know how. And it has to feel hard, when really it's just, it's really about the nuances of your business and not overcomplicating it. So keeping it simple as many times as you can and allowing yourself to make that decision, but going forward in the most simple way. So then that way you can scale, you can make more money, but without adding a whole bunch more effort, right?
Yeah, I think one of the ways that we teach this too, and we use if you've, been a student of ours or been in any of our challenges, programs, boot camps, you've heard us talk about the snowball. And so we have this really cute graphic. So everyone, Mina built this. So if anyone saw it, good job, Mina. But everyone imagine it for themselves. It's the top of a snowy hill, and you have this little snowball up there. Now imagine that little snowball rolling down the hill and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger at the bottom, right? One snowball, one focus gets the momentum. You're giving it the energy. You're like patting it tight and making it, that it's not going to break on its way down. And you roll it down, and you watch it get speed, momentum, and growth. Now, that is how it can be easy, pushing one snowball down a hill and letting it start to do the work. Where it gets hard, where so many of you get stuck, is that you make a ton of snowballs at the top of the hill. And then you want all of those snowballs to roll down the hill at the exact same time. But you're running between all the snowballs and you're trying to push them and they're breaking. I mean, if you've ever tried to really roll a snowball, they're breaking and they're exploding, or they're crashing into each other, and you're sweating, and it's like, why is this not working? And it's
Yeah.
because you're making it more complicated to grow your business by trying to do all the things and push all the snowballs and get all the momentum on all the things in all the places.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, for sure. I gave the example in our 21-day boot camp of my husband he went in for a checkup and he got some tests back that he needed to lower his cholesterol, right? So he knew that his ultimate goal at the end of 90 days was that he will have lowered his cholesterol. And I think that even then, when people are thinking about a plan, and for him, it's a lifestyle change, just like for us as entrepreneurs, but we think, oh, it has to be complicated. But the thing is complicated. How did I phrase it? Simplicity scales and complexity crushes. Because the thing is, it can be so crushing when you're trying to do all the things and maintain all those things. It is not sustainable. When in simplicity wise, he knows that he needs to eat more chicken and more vegetables and more fruit and cut out refined sugars and, eat less fats, right? It's as simple as that. And then he needs to move his body. But let's say his regimen is instead that he needs to do, a 25-step meal, and he needs to do an elaborate workout. And then after day 10, it starts to fizzle out because he can't stay motivated that whole time. The same thing happens for product bosses, because you get these brilliant ideas that you're like, ooh, I know, I'll create this. And he needs a whole new system of ingredients and all these costs of goods. And this is me to, in a nutshell, back when I used to think, oh, every brilliant idea needed to be executed on, when really that energy is only at the beginning part of you conceiving the idea. But then as you become more mature as a business owner, you realize that simplicity is actually the hardest thing to accomplish. Keeping things simple and making them scalable is the hardest thing, not being creative and following all these different ideas and thinking that every shiny object is something to pursue. And I think that is something to know, because even in any lifestyle, even what we eat or what we consume or anything like that, simplicity is the thing that will make it be something that we can stay consistent and scale and sustain versus complexity. Jacqueline, isn't it crazy how much pressure product bosses are under when trying to increase their sales?
Oh my goodness, 100%. That's why it's so important to get as many eyes as possible on your business. But the most important part is to continue to nurture and retain your customers.
I agree. But in order to spend the time nurturing and retaining customers, you have to stop wasting time on those tedious manual tasks, such as marketing and creating emails or landing pages.
This is exactly why HubSpot CRM helps set up marketing automation so that you can nurture your customers while saving time. They also have an AI powered tool and AI powered tools like Content Assistant that helps you stay in your zone of genius so you can focus on the most important things, your customers. They also make it super easy to drag and drop attention grabbing emails and landing pages.
Wow, that sounds incredible. I can't believe how easy it is to use and how much time it saves.
I know, right? But the best thing about it is that it adapts to the way you do business and it grows with you, which is really important. It's never been easier to save time on those tedious tasks so that you can continue to focus on what matters most, your customers.
Get started for free at HubSpot.com.
Hey friends, are you unsure of what to say on social media or what to even send in your weekly emails? Well, what if creating content could be easy? Would you be looking for a shortcut to creating consistent content? Yes, consistent content, because you know consistency is key. Well, let me tell you, you are not alone when you feel like you're struggling on what to post or what to write in emails. And we know that you have that product part of your business down. But as you're listening to this podcast, you probably already know that to get more people to your products, to buy your products, you need to create great content. Oh, I know. I keep saying content, and that's the dreaded C word. And we can't tell you how many product bosses tell us that they want to create great content for their audience and their customers, but they don't know what to say, or they are so busy they can't find the time, or they really, really, really don't want to be the face of their brand. Well, no worries, because that's exactly why we created A Year of Content. It is your shortcut to creating consistent content that resonates with your audience and brings more loyal customers who can't wait to buy your products. If you want to see how easy this is and how easy it is to create content for your audience and your customers, head to www.ayearofcontent.com.
So my name is Pat Miller. My business is Beloved Bath. We make quality bath products and candles while providing a social mission of meaningful employment for individuals with autism. The biggest win, I think, to Jacqueline and Mina that I want to share through being a multi-stream machine student and attending every workshop is that to believe in yourself. I think that, there's so much that you are unsure about, and their ability to make you believe in yourself, to follow your dreams, to say action takers are money makers, and to use the tools on the roadmap that they have given us has been unbelievable. And I do believe the biggest win for us has been to be able to diversify where we sell on our platforms and increase our visibility across all different markets. That has all come from everything I've learned from them. So thank you.
And it's funny because I can hear your voices already, because when we talk about this live with our students, we'll hear them say this, and you might be thinking the same thing, but I'm creative, but I want to make more things, but I want to do all the things, but I get bored, but I have this idea, but my customers told me I should make X. And what that does is it's a complexity, right? It's what feels crushing. It's the reason why you feel like you could never get out of the hole.
Yeah.
Because the problem with that hole that you keep digging deeper and deeper is like, because you all want it to be easier. Like, when is this going to work? When is this going to take off? When am I going to sell more? When is this business going to not only pay me, not only pay me what I'm worth, but pay me a lot because I am the boss.
Because I've put in the time.
Yeah.
I've earned it.
Yeah. Like the sky is a limit on how much you can get paid. But the problem is every single time you listen to those you shoulds, or you think I should do this, or I should make that, or, that's the thing that makes your hole a little deeper. A little bit more money gets spent, a little less stuff gets sold. Things are getting spread out. And it's harder and harder and harder to climb out of that. Now, it's not to say you can't climb out of it. Of course you can. We've helped thousands of students do that. The thing is, it takes you to say to yourself, and if you want to do this, and we have our students do this every so often, is write it somewhere, get a Post-it. If you're creative, like draw something, but let it be easy. And when you're at that decision point when you're like, do I do this? Do I make that? Do I take this chance? The question to ask yourself is like, not, is this the easier route, or like, am I being like lazy? Not that, but can I let this be easy? Can I not overcomplicate it? Can I think simply like, oh, I don't send emails. I should just start sending emails instead of going down this rabbit hole of like, I'm not sending emails. I have to make it look this way. It's not graphically
I have
designed
to
that
create this
way.
batch of videos before I even send out an
Yeah.
email.
Don't complicate. Don't create that complexity. The first step is taking the first step. And it's okay if it's not perfect. I promise, I swear on everything. Nothing's going to happen if it's not perfect. If you're on our email list, you've gotten emails that have typos and say like, hey, name. And we're like,
Oh gosh, they're the worst.
the worst. Things happen. If you've been live with us on any version of any live we've ever shown up on, the first couple of minutes are us still trying to figure out tech, even though we literally have a business built on the internet, right? We still move forward and we still do it and we still crush it.
Right. But if it means, and that's the thing, right? It means us coming back to the point that we want it to be easy. And I think that for all of us, when we're trying to do all the things for everyone all the time, that's the part where it gets very, very hard. And it's hard for people to say, I love that idea, but no, I don't think that that's right for my business. Right. Or I love the idea. I love the idea for you. Right. But instead, what we do instead is we get caught up in, oh, I want to do this because this person asked me for that. Or I feel like that's shows that I'm creative, that I can do everything for everyone. When in reality, when you're a business owner, you have to decide which direction you're going, because otherwise you'll be going in no direction if you try to go all directions.
We've had this conversation multiple times today.
You'll be in circles chasing your tail.
With like several of our students. We've got our MSM VIP program. It's like our next level program within the multi-stream machine students. And they'll often ask us questions like, this is working. They're like, wow, this is starting to work. Wow, I started selling wholesale. I'm starting to make sales. Should I go do XYZ, which is like completely different? Now, should I go get on Amazon? Or I'm doing really well on Amazon. I'm starting to make, sales on Amazon. Now, should I go do wholesale? And the thing is when you're in that starting position, when you're starting, the hardest thing is getting that ball rolling, right? The hardest thing is making the snowball and getting the momentum. So many times too, we decide, oh, this is working in some capacity, time to jump, overcomplicate our lives and go and do something new, because why should it feel easy? That's the hardest part. We have somebody we just coached that's making $4,000 to $5,000 a day on Amazon. A day on Amazon. She's a student of ours. What does that equal if you're all trying to do the math? Over $120,000 a month on a singular platform. Now, the thing about that is like that's easier for her. She's not shipping and packing $120,000 worth of inventory every day. Amazon's doing it. Amazon's doing the selling. She has a team that's helping her run Amazon. So what could she do? She could actually take a break, go on vacation, maybe take a nap.
And also, so what she was thinking about doing is that she was going to either get into wholesale or work on her SEO or whatever it was. Where I was saying was, hey, let's pour gasoline on that fire so we can add in easier getting easier, right? Because that's the easier point, is getting better at something. Because now you've gotten over the test and try phase. Now you're getting into simplicity scales phase, that you can look at the old data and be like, ooh, this is working or it's not working. Let's let go of those things. Let's focus on these things. And the thing that the tendency for us to do that is like, it's starting to feel easy, got to get back into the hard again. When in actuality, I just want it to be optimized to be so easy that you don't even have to think about it anymore. Right? Let's get to that point instead.
Right? Like to be easy and to be making $100,000+ a month on a platform that you don't have to fulfill every order. That's too easy. What? Like
that's what sometimes people think, right?
It's so hard.
But she's the one who put in her time, blood, sweat, tears. She's earned that right to get to that point, because there's a lot of people out there saying you should do this or you should do that. But she's the one who's taken all the action after years and years and years, that she's able to go and even invested in herself and her product, right? That now she actually is able to let it be easy, but she has to be the one that's like, I'm going to let it be easy instead of getting caught up in that it shouldn't feel easy.
And I wanted to share that with all of you because a lot of you might be thinking on the other side, like, wow, oh my goodness, if only that was my business. Oh my gosh, that would be a blessing. That would be amazing. My whole life would have changed. And the thing is that we all, no matter what level of business we're in, have to continue to remind ourselves to let it be easy at each stage, because especially for someone like, I'm just going to say for me, um, for example, feelings, I was in a family that we moved a lot. We had to start over a lot. We had to move a lot. I had a lot of different houses. And all I wished for as a kid was like one house. Like my husband, the house he grew up in is the house his parents are still in. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had that. So what did I start to do? I started to move us around a lot, right? Like I started to feel uncomfortable being in the same place all the time because I thought, well, like this doesn't feel right, right? But I'd always longed for something where we would always be stable. So the thing is a lot of times, if we're not used to ease, if we haven't like felt that in our body, if it's not a way that we grew up or experienced or believe or saw modeled for us, we can't believe it's possible to actually make $100,000, $50,000, $1 million, whatever it is, with ease. And so we want you to think about, how am I complicating this and how could I make it feel easy? Mm-hmm. And I think by continuing to show up here on the podcast, joining us inside of our programs like Multi-Stream Machine, this is one of our main things that we're going to keep trying to push forward for all of you.
Yeah, taking action for sure, one step in front of the other, but you're not trying to run a sprint, you're trying to run a marathon. Hey, can you read off the print you got at the Rose Flea Market or whatever it was called?
Yeah, I bought something from a local artist and it really resonated with me because I don't have patience and I want things to happen faster. And I'm like, why am I not there yet? Right.
And that's what sometimes we don't let things be easy because we think we can brute force and sprint the heck out of it, right? Yeah. The urgency mode.
So it's this beautiful print and it says, things take the time they take. Things take the time they take. That's it. Yeah. A plant is going to grow however long it takes a plant to grow. I cannot force this thing. I mean, some of you might be like, well,
but you can nurture it. You can focus on it. Yeah, you can nurture it. You can give it water, all those different things. So when you're thinking about ease and simplicity and sometimes things just take a little bit more time, right? Yes. And no matter how fast you work, no matter how much overwhelm or brute force you're putting into it, they're going to take the time that they take. And what we want you to do is really think about, okay, this is going to take time. This is going to take action, but also I can also give myself permission to also let it be easy, right? And that is what will keep you going in the long run as well.
Yes. So take that with you, my friends. I hope that resonates with you, and we will see you on the next episode. Thank you for being here and listening all the way through the Product Boss podcast. If you love our show and it has helped you in any way in your business, would you mind doing 2 things for us? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode and leave us a review. Reviews help other product entrepreneurs know that this is the place to be to grow their businesses and realize that they're not alone. And we know that you all know that a 5-star and honest review helps you sell more products to more people. So you know that your reviews help us reach more listeners around the world. Remember, what we give is what we receive, and we are all about helping each other in the Product Boss community. We are all in this together. We would be so appreciative of you if you could take the time right now to subscribe, leave a review, and even share this episode on social or someone you know so we can impact more lives. And remember, subscribing means that you will get notified each time we release a new episode so you never miss a thing. You have helped us grow and climb into the top 10 of all marketing podcasts, and together we can keep climbing. Thank you, friends. And remember, there is room at the top for all of us.